All right, let's talk about the power rule, which I know a lot of y'all are dying to learn. Okay, I'll bet you can figure it out. So if I had this function right here, and the power rule, with these polynomial functions, it's simple. Power rule is simple when we have some variable to a power like this. And it'll get more complicated as we go through it, but this is the basics. So if I said, this is my function, this is the derivative of this. So I'll bet you can figure it out. How did we go from here to here? So, and I know, like I said, I know a bunch of you are figuring this out. You're saying, oh yeah, 4 times 3 is 12, 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, 3 minus 1. Oh yeah, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 minus 1. Oh, there's an understood 1 right there. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. 1 minus 1 is 0. And we all know that x to the 0 power is just 1. So what happened to the x? It just went away. Well, if I wanted to put an x here, I'd have to put an x to the 0 power because that makes the understood 1. And then when I do the exponent times 8, the 0 times 8, it just cancels out. So the constant terms always just end up canceling. So here's the formula for the power rule. Here's the formula. It's the variable times the lead coefficient, and then you subtract 1 from the variable. And we can just do this on and on and on. So on and on and on, we can just do this. We're just multiplying the exponent times the coefficient and subtracting 1 from the exponent. And I know some of y'all are saying, yeah, but what about some of those other problems? Like when we did the square root problem, okay, this is to solve this, we're going to end up using what's called the chain rule, but the power rule is part of the chain rule. And then when we have those problems where it was like 2 over 2x minus 5, something like this, that's going to be what we call the quotient rule, but the power rule is part of the quotient rule. And then someday you're going to have problems like this. You're going to have like 4x minus 5 times 6x minus 7. This would be, you could solve this using the power rule, but the product rule. This would be the product rule, but the power rule is part of the product rule. And you're like, why don't you just distribute it? All right, fine. But there's lots of issues that are going to come up with these problems as we go through them. So that's it right there. That's all there is to the power rule. Those of y'all that are dying to learn it. But we can't use it on this first quiz, but you're going to be able to use it on the second one.